This is Ultimate Insulation's insulation removal standard operating procedure.
So when hooking up a trailer, we want to make sure that everything is connected before we depart or even unhook for the day. So you have your main plug, and one of the key things with these plugs is it's got this little tab on the back. And when you open this door up, it's got a tab here. When you slide this in, the two tabs need to marry together right here. And that keeps the plug in there tight, and then it won't actually come out. When these two tabs marry together, it keeps the plug in there nice and tight, and then it won't jiggle around and mess with your electrical or your electric brakes. So that's one very important part. So if this door ever is broke, we need to replace it because it doesn't have that tab on there to hold it. And every truck has this. Has the tab on the door of the plug and the actual plug. And it's very important that that's on there. So then you want to look at your chains. You want to make sure both chains are hooked up. And then we have this, this is a breakaway switch. If the trailer ever did separate from everything, if this gets pulled out, it locks the brakes. So the brakes will actually engage and lock up on the trailer and stop the trailer. Then on this particular ball, it takes this pin here to be able to open and close it. So when you want to take the trailer off, you push it back, replace the pin in there, and now the trailer will come off there. When you're ready to leave, go down the road with it, put it in this side, make sure it's latched here, and you're good to go. Then your jack, you want to make sure your jack is all the way up. Cranked all the way up, because when you're moving down the road, you don't want to go through a dip and have it get caught on there, so you always jack it all the way up. And then with this one, we have this shore plug that we want to make sure is tucked in so it's not getting drugged down the road or get caught in anything. And when you're done with this actual trailer plug, we have this little caddy on all of them. And we put this in this caddy so it stays in there, because for a couple different reasons. So it stays out of the dirt and that. But if you lay it in here like this and it snows and it'll get ice and everything build up there, then the trailer, it won't work. So that's why we put it right here in this little plug caddy, and you're good to go. When we're unhooking the chains, we'll just unhook them. Sometimes we'll have a little latch here we can hook them on, but we just cross them over here. Just like that. So they're up and out of the dirt and mud and whatnot, so we don't have to worry about them being froze down or you're stuck in the mud.
So this is our setup. We have the saver on the right along with the clamps and tape above it and bungee cords on the left. And then we have our hose reel with all the 8-inch on it. And then we go over to this cabinet where we have all of our vacuum bags, the dot cleaner below it. And then on the bottom, there's the gas and the sanitizer. Then we move over to the cabinet towards the front. We have all of our PPE stuff on the top, cleaning stuff there, and then the blankets that we put around the corners in the houses that we can run our hoses with so it doesn't scrape up the wall. And then we have our jack and our other tire changing tools, and then the spare tire you'll see in the next clip is all the way at the back of the trailer.
This is an M18 drill, M18 impact. And then batteries, all M18 batteries here. M12s in here.
Batteries going here.
And the M12 drill. And then we just have our drill bits, paper towel, blower, and the safety kit. So this is our winch if we ever need help getting the vacuum in the back of it. This Milwaukee toolbox is for all the dividers and reducers for the hoses.
This is what we call shore power cord. So it goes to shore power or powered by an outlet to the house or job site. What we have designed this really nice snap plug. So a snap plug can only go together one way. And when you put it together, you click it or snap it together. Then you take the male end here and you run it up to your job site and plug it in. And once it's plugged in, then the whole trailer will have outlets and be charging our 12-volt battery system inside. So now let's go check. I'll show you the 12-volt battery system inside. Okay, so this is how our 12-volt system works in the trailer. So this is when you're not hooked up to shore power. So you'll be able to turn this on and you'll have LED lights here and you'll be able to at least see what you're doing inside here. So when it's plugged into shore power or land power, this will be charging this battery that's down here. So then that keeps the battery always charged. And then when we're not on site or out in the yard, the backyard, then we got these lights to work with. So when you're done at the end of the day and you're locking this trailer up or shutting it up, if you see this light on or that light on, that means that the power is on inside, the battery is running. So we need to open the door, reach in, and shut her off.
This toolbox, you'll put the M12s in.
Just a little selection of wrenches there, just for maintenance stuff. Keys, extra keys, screwdrivers. This is the remote and for the winch. So it's a wireless remote for the winch, or you can plug in if that wouldn't work. Snips, different tools, pry bars, hammer, socket set, extra straps. Got sawzall. There's a sawzall. Click them. They have a little locking mechanism right here. If you shut these drawers, they will not come open. So you just got to make sure that they're pushed tight and latched in, and they won't come open.
This is where we store the 2 connecting hoses that go from the vacuum to the bag and the saver. So this vacuum setup, we have the vacuum in the back of the enclosed trailer. We can also have it on the dump truck, as you'll see in other videos. But when it's in here, you're going to have to pull it out with usually 2 people. And then you can wheel it on over to the dump trailer and set it up behind the dump trailer so that it's convenient to put the hose in the back of the dump trailer. Then you have to ratchet strap it down, pulling from 3 completely different directions because it moves quite a bit when it's turned on. Then when you're connecting the hoses, you're going to want to double clamp them and you're going to want to tighten them up pretty good just to make sure that they don't come off. Now this one that he's working on is the exit side of it, so it will go into the dump trailer and in a bag. This was on another vac out site that we had. But before you get started, just make sure everything's all hooked up right, clamped down, tightened up, ratchet straps are good. And as you can see, we have the saver on this job because we were in an attic. But you don't always need it, and you don't want to use it when you're doing fiberglass bats because they will get caught in there. The purpose of the saver is to catch all big, heavy things that might damage the vacuum. Now when Parker tries to start the vacuum, nothing happens, and that's because we did not have the hose on tight enough right here, because if you don't push up against that piece right there, it won't start. So, and the reason for this is because that's where the vacuum sucks, and on the other side is some blade, so you do not want to get your hands in there. So this vacuum takes 91 octane, and before you start, you want to make sure you check the oil, and then once you turn it on, you just want to slowly throttle it up. For this specific job, we were doing a crawl space with a lot of fiberglass batting in it. So we just took the 8-inch hose to the crawl space and threw the batting in it. And then later, Nate grabbed the 8-inch hose and went around tucking it up. As you can see, the hose is jumping around quite a bit, and that's why we have these weights on here to keep it down. We got to make sure that the bag in the trailer is secured tightly with a clamp. Here we were using a small bag. We do have a lot bigger bags that fill up the whole trailer. This is a different job where we just use 2 4-inchers. Each job is different. What would be easiest? Sometimes the 6 inches are easiest, but this scuttle hole is pretty small, so we only got the 4 inches through. When you're putting batch through the 8-inch hose, as you can see, it gets pretty crazy, and you might need some weight on it or somebody holding it. We want to protect the vacuum, making sure that we're not sucking up anything too hard. You're going to have to rip the fiberglass bats up a little bit to get them through the hose. So this is how we split the hoses from bigger to smaller. We have 8 to 6 and 6 to 4. So this is how we get all the way down to 4. And I'm just showing how you make sure that all of them are tightened up good. Once you're all done for the day and you're going to go to the dump, you're going to open up this part of the trailer and just hold the button until it goes all the way up. Then once it's up all the way, you just drive forward and let it all fall out. This is our other setup where the vacuum is in the back of the dump truck. It's ratchet strapped down and the hoses go straight to the diverter and into the dump trailer. The diverter goes to 2 different holes in the bag, and you can unlatch it and pull it with your hand to switch which hole it goes to. We need to remember to zip tie the extra holes. If we fill up an entire trailer bag like this, you're going to have to turn this pipe sideways so it doesn't catch it when it's sliding out.